Hi guys, I'm here to talk to you about the changes for round 104. Very soon you will be able to see the changes on forum and on our social networks. But today I want to talk to you why we have these changes and what we think these changes will bring to the game. Now the first one, round length has been shortened to 168 days. Basically, in the last 3-4 rounds, we always had these 2 or 3 days with nothing special happening. I see a pattern in the events where basically the last 2 real days we have no event, robbery or both, and I think that is very boring for the players. A lot of you wanted the round to be 150, but for the moment this is not very viable for us. Shortening the round to too much, that means changes to professions, and that is not something that we want to do again for the moment. I do think that the professions, even with 168, are very close together, and there is no point in making any changes for around 104 to professions. End game has been adjusted due to the fact that we will have the round shorter. End game will come day 140. Now the big change for the game in general, not just for round 104, is that hitmans will have anonymous clubs. This came with good feedback for the moment, good and negative, because of course people that have many friends and many donations will not like this. But old guys are really enjoying this change, and we hope to see a more interesting top kill fight, and we hope to reduce the number of donations. I know that making them at 0, it is impossible to have them deleted from the game, but I'm sure that this change will reduce a little bit the amount of kills donated. The search button has been removed from nightlife. This change comes not only for a hitman but for all professions, and it is very easy to understand why. Because if I am a robber, I can search for the hitman's rave and tell him when I am in his rave, and he can come and kill me. And this is why the search button has to be removed. And no longer you can add your a rave to favorites, if I'm not mistaken. Now, a change to the true junkie item. It is back to 15%. This is done because, and mostly because, as we can see, one dealer can just make 300 or 250 million just with that item. A lot of players came to me and asked why we have the dealer in as a profession, that it doesn't make sense for the game to have it. Every time I explained it by saying that dealer is a profession based a lot on luck, because you need boats to come. The problem is I want them to play 4 boats, not 1 boat like we are seeing at this moment, and we may have a situation where you can have top 1 to 5 all dealers, and that is something that I don't mind seeing, but I do want to see them play more boats, not just 1. A different strategy is something that it's better to have. I don't think the 5% can influence a lot, because when we changed the transaction number, our calculations led to a max amount of drug of 9 billion. For example, each drug dealer can maximally amass 9 billion of a specific drug on their account. This was clearly not true, and this round we saw counts from what I understand and from what I saw in logs with 12 billion of one drug. So that is something that we don't want to see. We want to see more strategy, and I really do not want to delete the dealer, but I want to make it a little bit more balanced. Max 3 accounts per IP. This is very self-explanatory. It's due to donations, and we want to put a stop to that as much as we can. Now, two big changes regarding single events. Chuck Norris will be at 25% stamina and will come day 20, and Narcotics Brigades will require 33% stamina. We came with this change because we want people to have to create new strategies, and what we saw was a pattern where players just waited for 300 tickets. For example, I am at 200 tickets now. There is Chuck Norris, and because I know I will not make good money on Chuck Norris, I will just wait another day and not rob. That is dead time for the game, and it is not something that is it's good and overall. With these two changes, clearly it's a small buff to robber and to pimp as well, depending on how often these two will come in early game. So we hope to see some different strategies for next round. The last change was added accept or refuse button when given trust. This should have happened a long time ago, basically from first round when we introduced trust. It didn't, and I'm sorry for that. I hope it will reduce the amount of reports and tickets that we got regarding the trust issues. Side note, due to a stats distribution misunderstanding that I will explain now, that we had in round 103, we are contemplating of removing the bonus that Hitman has with a different bonus. Round 103, we got some reports that stats are being made from thin air. Basically what happens is when a hitman hits another profession, that profession, let's say businessman, will lose an amount of stats, but hitman, because it is built in a specific way, will win more stats. For example, I am businessman, I get assaulted, I lose 5k, but the hitman will get 6k. That is 1k extra. That, of course, in a long run and in GA situations can be increased. That is not a bug, it is how the profession was created. But we are trying to address this, and I will keep you posted. We have two options. If we remove this bonus from Hitman, we have two options that we are discussing, and I will let you know as soon as we decide. These are the changes for this round. For the future, we are working on some events for Hitman, and the project that you already know about, the gangs. See you guys next round and enjoy it.